All right. So, what did I learn from doing music business with my childhood friends when I was coming up? That's what we're going to go over right here, right now, on this video coming up after the intro. All right. So let's get this started right here. So this is Billy here from Big Shot Beats coming to you live for the Big Shot Heard Music YouTube channel from my office slash studio over here in the north side of the city of Toronto in Canada. Now, before we get started, I just want to get the housekeeping out of the way. I just want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon right after you do. If you want to, if you want me to help you grow as a music artist, to learn about music marketing, the music business, and to get song reviews and constructive feedback every single week with the content that I'm going to put on this channel. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, you don't want to forget to subscribe. And also, right now we are on here, and you're gonna want to let me know where you are tuning in from in the comment section below. I'm live from Toronto in Canada, and I'm super excited because this channel just launched recently, and it's exciting. We also have a Facebook community alongside this channel, which is the Big Shot Heard music group on Facebook. If you haven't joined yet, you can go to Big Shot Heard Music dot live / group, or you can check the description below for this video, or wherever you at. You may be on your mobile phone. It's right under this video. You can click on the link to join the community so that you can get access to the post that I'm going to be doing every single week, so that you can drop the link to your music, drop the link to your song for review and constructive feedback. We are almost at 200 people already, and it's amazing. The community is going to be growing, and it's going to be about masterminding. It's going to be about networking and collaborating with each other as we're moving forward with everything that we're doing, with something that we're so passionate about, and that something is, of course, the music. All right. So with that said, this is all the housekeeping right now. So let me see who's with me on here. People are going to be rolling in. But anyways, let's get into the lesson that I've learned from doing music business with some of my childhood friends when I was coming up. All right. So if you checked out the previous video, I talked about, why I quit university to do music full time. And I went over the story and everything. If you missed that, you can go back and watch that, so that you can know why I quit university back then to pursue my music career. So just to go back a little bit to where I left off is, I quit university because I realized that I didn't want to do software engineering for the next 30 years of my life after my intern. I kind of got out of sync with all of that, and I decided that I wanted to just go do my music stuff. So when I quit the university, right after, I kind of started an entertainment company with one of my good friends that I grew up with. We started promoting clubs and making part of the nightlife and everything. And then with that, and by the way, shout out to Casper, which is a French hip hop rapper that is pretty well renowned in the industry in Montreal, which is my hometown, right? We started a little record label, full equip records. Man, I hit my words right there. But Full Equip Records is the record label that we started back then, and we started to working on a project. We put a mixtape out, and then one of my friends that I was working with the promotion of the events and the nightlife and the clubs that we were doing, he was pretty good at getting venues and getting shows and stuff like that. So we started working on the project. We were 4 friends on the team, and I was on the beats. I was making the beats. Another of my friends was the manager. My other friend was the actual rapper, and then I had another friend that was kind of like doing the runarounds and a little bit of co-managing, let's say, and a little bit of the paperwork thing. So we went on to create the project. We started to get gigs at bars. We even got to a point where we were doing, a little bit of touring in the area, and we started to get recognized. The name was starting to ring in the industry, on the grounds where we were, and in the French hip hop community, the name started to get recognized, and it was a great thing to watch how when you were dedicated and put in some hard work in the beginning and on the ground, that people would start to recognize you and everything, and that was actually pretty awesome. So we started doing some work. We started to tour. Major labels started to recognize us, and then something kind of went south. And I felt lost at one point because you know how sometimes you're young, you have goals, but you don't have a specific plan of action. You're kind of going, you know, uh, you kind of going with the flow, and me as a music producer, I was focused on creating the music. I was focused on doing what I had to do to put the music out there. But then there was something missing, and that's where everything kind of fell off, and then things weren't going the right way. I was one of the friends in my group that was a little bit more responsible. Okay, I'm not scared to say that, and they can attest to that if you were to talk to them today. I was a little bit more responsible. I was the guy that that had a job, even though I went to school, and even at school, I was the guy that kind of had the higher grades, and I was called the black nerd back then when I was in school and stuff like that. So, you know, I remember back then I just copped a Benz. It's having a Mercedes back then was something huge. I was the first among my friends to get a car back then too. So, anyways, in the time that I was moving forward, I got to the point where I got a Benz. After college, after university, and all that, I was kind of doing my thing. I was on the grind, doing my stuff. Still working and trying to make neat ends. But I was kind of managing my stuff in a way that was pretty comfortable. You see what I'm saying? And then I remember, I think I was still living in my mom's house, stuff like that. I was kind of like taking advantage of the situation, taking care of my mom at the same time. But I remember I was 19 and I left my house. But anyways, that was a little bit after. But there was one thing that I didn't do, and that's the lesson over here. And everything that I've been talking about up to now, have you noticed that there was one thing missing? So I was doing music business with my childhood friends. We put a mixtape together that we were promoting, and we were, putting some money into it, and we were just grinding and putting out there and making our best to push the project out there, and to knock some doors, and to go to some record labels and to see if they would kind of make a deal with us so that we could expand and get discovered even more. But guess what was missing? We never went to see a lawyer. We never put anything on paperwork to figure out what our splits were, how I was going to get income, because in the beginning we were kind of all investing, and not all of us was investing. And of course, because I had a little bit of kind of like a more of a buffer when it comes to my financials, I was the one kind of like putting a little bit more in there, and then I end up I ended up being the one kind of losing a little bit. So I remember one time we went on a tour, and then I think back then like Hummers were like the thing, like the vehicle. Like if you had a Hummer, I think it was like 50 Cent that came out with a music video, and then those vehicles were huge. So I remember we rented two Hummers and we went on a tour. We put some stickers, artist name, mixtape thing, rap around them and stuff like that, and we were going around the towns and everything. It was pretty awesome. And then I end up being I was always the one putting some money out, pulling some money out, and they're like, yeah, we'll kind of like give it back to you when things start rolling and this and that. And then there was no set agreement. There was no set agreement. We never went and seen a lawyer to make sure that all the paperwork was straight and everything. And we were kind of doing that on a wing. So that was the missing link right there, and that's where everything went down. And I decided, we decided at one point that things weren't working. I wasn't going to continue to dish or to invest some money by myself with all that stuff. I was kind of running out, running low. You know, when you have a job, sometimes, you know, things can get expensive, especially with the music stuff. So you know, I started to run low, and then it just didn't work out. Even though I was the one, you know, creating the music back then, and some of the other guys had some different tasks and stuff. We didn't sit down and properly laid everything down on paper to make sure that our business was straight. We never went to see a lawyer and everything. So my recommendation to you is that even though you're gonna do some music business with your friends, make sure that everything is right on paper, black and white. That you guys make agree on everything from the get go, from the beginning, so that there's no argument along the way, misunderstandings, and that you know everything doesn't run equal. You're gonna have to make sure, and that applies to anything that you're gonna do with music, right? Make sure that you have an agreement and that things are clear between the person that you're gonna do business with. You know what I mean? It involves, you know, when you're buying beats online. You know what I mean? Even if you're getting a free download. There is going to be an agreement so that you can find out what you can do and what you cannot do. You see what I'm saying? So that's really important for you to make sure that you know you have an agreement and things are clear with the parties that you're going to be doing business with. Very, very, very important. So that's the lesson that I learned. And moving on, you know, we kind of split ways, and that's when I actually moved out of Montreal to come to Toronto, where I've been living at here right now, and that's almost 16 years ago, right? That I kind of went on my journey, and then I decided that I wanted to grow as a music producer, kind of on my own in the English market, because I was in the French market in Montreal, because primary language over there is French, although now English is a little bit more predominant, but yeah, over there is more French. So I moved out here, and then I was more in the English market, and then I said, you know, I'm gonna expand and getting closer to the United States and stuff like that. And I remember the first time I came to Toronto, it was amazing seeing the lights downtown and all that. And I was like, "Ooh, this feels like New York, but right in Canada." So the feeling was great. Moved out there, and I started to build my name up. And of course, my goal is to, chase the majors, have some placements with major artists and stuff like that. It was hard. It was me knocking my head on the wall, trying to figure things out, build my name up and everything. And at one point, I decided something, and it's basically that's what changed my perspective on things. And I decided that I did not want to go to the major route and or keep chasing the majors because things weren't working. Even though I got in the studio with a lot of major artists, some of the projects didn't even see a day of the light up till today, and it was just weird. Like I would build relationships and talk to major people, and it didn't just things didn't seem to work out that much. So on the next video, I'm gonna share what I decided when I realized that I wasn't getting any major success with chasing major artists or chasing the major labels, and I'm gonna share with you. I'm gonna share that with you on the next one. All right. So with that said, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping here before I leave once again. So hopefully you got some value and that you understood the lesson that I've learned from doing music business with some childhood friends, and that's to always have things written on paper and to be clear about what's going to go on, even though you're going to be doing business with guys that you're calling friends. You see what I'm saying? That's the lesson over here. So hopefully you learn something. Help me out by sharing this video with somebody else that may want to learn from that or that would want to hear from that as well. And don't forget, if you want me to help you grow as a music artist, all right, with the value that I've been giving myself from making music for almost 17 years now, okay, and giving myself some value and marketing knowledge online for the past 8 years so that I can help you grow as a music artist by sharing some tips, tricks, strategies, knowledge on music marketing, the music business, and song reviews and constructive feedback on the music work that you're so passionate about. Plus, me bringing on some special guests from the music industry on here. Plus, me sharing my beat making process so that you can see behind the scene of how I build some of my music. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because that's what it's going to be about. You know what I mean? I'm going to show up every single week. And when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of the exclusive content that I'm going to be putting up here every single week, at least twice a week. And I'm setting a schedule here that every Tuesday I'm going to be coming on live to share some content. And every Friday we're going to do some song reviews and constructive feedback. And you don't want to miss out on that. All right? And also, don't forget to join the community so that you can find the post that I'm going to leave on there that's going to allow you to drop the link to your work, to your music work, to your song, so that we can review them, give you that exposure on here so that others can also listen to it and give you some feedback so that this way you can see how people react to your stuff, go back to the drawing board, adjust some things, and you're going to grow like that because you're working on your craft, you're working on perfecting what you're so passionate about, and I want to help you out on that, and I think that's going to be beneficial for you. If you get some feedback with your work, get an extra ear that's going to listen to your music, and I think that's what you truly want as a support with the music that you're going to be putting out. All right. So with that said, I'm going to sign out. This was Billy here from Big Shot Heard Music here, right here on YouTube. So I appreciate you. Make sure that you tune in, join the community, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you miss out on anything. And yeah, on the next video, I'm going to share the shift that happened when I decided to not chase music major artists and major record labels so that I can approach music a different way. All right, tune in if you want to know what I decided back then that led me into being on the journey that I'm on right now, and which also led of me being on here right in front of you on this video on this YouTube channel so that I can help you out, help you grow as we're moving forward together as musician. All right. So once again, Billy here from Big Shot Heard Music, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.